Welcome everybody in to tonight's broadcast from the BCTV crew. We're here at Bedford High School. We're going to bring you tonight's Division I action with the Bedford Bulldogs girls soccer team playing host to the Concord Crimson. I'm Corey Munster-Tiger, joined in the booth here by Bill Klein. I believe Lauren Fox might be popping in at one point or another to add some interesting commentary to our broadcast this evening. Just before kickoff here, and Lauren is going to join us here, so we're pleased to be able to join you. Bill, any comments, observations from the warm-ups? We have a cool night here, high 50s, low 60s. It's going to be drizzling most of the game.
Well, I'm going to mention something real quick. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can, yes.
Okay, I can't hear myself.
Okay, keep going.
Just checking. But Anna, who was just announced as one of the players in the girls' team, Anna Diaz, her brother Gavin scored an overtime penalty kick up in Concord for the boys, beating Concord 1-0. Concord was had one tie, I guess, coming into today's game, or one loss maybe, but that puts the boys up 4-4. And tonight's matchup with Concord should be a good one. They've had a good start to the year. Coach has been there for a while. They come in with a 3-2 record. And unfortunately, we're coming off the one-season loss that they picked up last week out in Exeter. But want to rebound here tonight. And Lauren, go ahead.
I wind up watching a lot of this team. Obviously, my daughter.
Why is that?
My daughter's the backup keeper,
okay. All right,
so she's like the Maytag repairman, to be honest. So, but with that said, I actually found my notes, Sean. I do have as a neighbor Sean Diaz, whose daughter Anna is starting. So for a baseball guy, I'm kind of dialed into the soccer subculture, as it were. But that Exeter game the other day, Bill, to your point, Bedford came out a little bit flat, gave up 2 goals early, and couldn't quite come back against a really good, really technical Exeter team.
We have kickoff here. The Bulldogs take possession here to start the game. Quickly out of bounds, so Concord will get a quick throw in near side. So Bedford coming off their first loss of the season. Lauren, you mentioned 2 quick goals early on in that game, and then they weren't quite able to recover the rest of the way.
For Bedford, that was really the first time, to quote Mike Tyson, that was the first time they'd been punched in the mouth at all this year. They have scored 32 goals and given up 4 this season, and of those 32, you have 2 players accounting for over 2/3 of them. Grace Crowder has 3 hat tricks to this point, total of 12 goals, and Lana Morris has 10 herself. So those 2 between them have 22. So that's where the offensive firepower is going to lie tonight.
So eyes on number 10, Grace Crowder. And of course, on Lana Morris, number 5. She'll be up top playing that striker position. Grace Crowder trying to serve Morris. Conveniently timed on that play, but broken up on the back line by Willa Marino for Concord.
Are we on radio or are we just on TV?
Oh, TV, man.
TV only, so we're big time now. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I was just checking.
I don't see Harry Kozlowski here.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's always a good tell.
Yeah, I don't produce that radio all that much myself.
I didn't know if you had added that to your repertoire at this point.
I'm versatile, but maybe not that versatile. Good stick on the outside there. Far side by Kate Michael, playing left back on that threat from the Concord Crimson.
Comparatively speaking, Lauren had pointed out the number of goals that Bedford scored, 32, and had no goals scored against them until the last match. The Concord team comes in with just a 10 goals scored and 5 given up. So significantly different on both ends of the field, so to speak, getting the ball in and keeping it out.
Yeah, it's 2 styles of play that are varying. Bedford likes to do a lot of ball control, touch it, and sort of work for the big play. What we have seen so far this year, though, from the Bulldogs is, I think, a bit more youth than we would have expected. You have some freshmen who are really contributing. Anna Diaz is one. I think you mentioned her brother's name earlier. But Anna Diaz is one who's really contributing as a freshman. McKenna Snow is another one who's been a big contributor this year. So that has been a good source of offense, as well as some of the younger players, which, if you're Michelle Winning, has to be heartening knowing that you're losing a lot of seniors from this team as well.
I believe Concord is really stacked with seniors. They've got 13 seniors, 3 juniors, and 3 sophomores. So next year is going to be a potentially tough year, but this year would be a year that they should expect to have a good season.
Did you guys happen to catch the final of the JV game? It was 5-0 when I left, but 6-0 the final. So unless there's something lurking in junior high school, maybe a tough year next year for the Crimson Tide either.
Played from the back here by Araceli Cloutier. Far side to Kate Michael. Now Sari Stein comes over to clean up a couple of touches. Out of bounds for a Concord throw. As we're apt to see early on in these games, the two teams are feeling each other out here a little bit. Trying to get a sense for the game, speed, quickness, positioning, all that fun stuff. Turnover here right at midfield. And Concord will earn another throw.
Not a whole lot of flow to the game yet. And
Not yet.
We usually don't see a whole lot of the game played directly in front of us, but that's really what we're seeing right now. And when I say not a whole lot of flow, there's not a whole lot of flow on either side.
Linking passes, finding feet. Now they're stringing together a few passes here as the Bulldogs break out. Building from the back here, near side with Neve Humphrey. Up the near sideline for McKenna Snow. The Bulldogs slowly making their way towards the Concord goal.
That change of field was nice, and it did give the Bedford squad an opportunity to advance the ball fairly nicely.
Crowder there looking for a run on the far side. A little strong, little hard on the touch there.
Yeah, it looks like Concord doing a good job of leaving their last line of defenders further up too, really allowing Bedford, or really forcing Bedford out of the 18.
Goal kick now. It's going to trickle out of bounds on the far side.
Give you a positive note if you notice where the orange decked out referee is on this right-hand side of the field, our attacking end, how far into the field he is. That's excellent positioning to be on top of the play.
Of course, Bill Klein brings years
Yes.
of experience as an official. Nice tackle here near side. It's Araceli Cloutier getting a foot on that, knocking it out of bounds and slowing down the Crimson Tide attack.
Araceli back from an ankle injury she sustained a few weeks ago, and she is a welcome addition to that Bedford squad. Senior leadership and a lot of tenacity that she brings to the field too.
50-50 ball won there by Amanda Vezina. They serve it wide for the Concord striker. Catches up to it, but can't quite keep it from going over the end line, so it will be a goal kick for Bedford.
How much have you ever worn? I'm sure you have worn a pedometer when you've done a game.
More than once, yeah.
Okay. How much do you get in?
A lot more than what I'm getting up here
Okay, fair enough.
in the booth tonight, Lauren.
Okay.
I'll tell you that. It depends, and obviously my latter years, I worked mostly the center, so I put in a lot of miles.
So if you're in the
three-man
center as
system.
an official, you're running more.
Oh yeah,
You're everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be difficult to be a linesman on, especially up here in New England on cold nights, because you can stand around for quite a while. But as a referee in the middle of the field, you can keep warm, you can move around. It's healthier, more than one way. Get less injuries. I've had a few linesmen that have pulled up lame. You know, they literally just
Right. You're
tear
just
a muscle.
walking, and then all of a sudden you go to run. I mean, it happens to the best of us.
Yep.
Father time.
But distance-wise, I don't remember more than probably about 3 to 5 miles. But of that 3 to 5 miles out there, if you break it down to how much of it is walking versus jogging versus sprinting. Every match is different. But
Okay. And I would figure the more competitive the match, the more you wind up moving.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Cloutier to Stein here along the back line.
My comment about this official over here, his position, he really is good because of two things. He did get down to the goal line when the ball got there, so he's in position for the out of bounds on the touch lines, the goal lines, and out where most of the fouls are going to occur, out in the field, not along the sideline.
Ava Dubois comes back to help with that clear. Now along the far sideline. Got a threat brewing here. Grace Crowder runs onto it.
Couple nice square passes there, back and forth.
Back far side, now to a run along that left wing.
And it's tough to make it out because I'm trying to look through 2 panes of glass that haven't been cleaned since probably about the school was open, let's face it. But I think it was Anna Diaz who was running point on that last sequence.
Tough to tell numbers from here.
I think we've got the window cleaner is coming in here right now.
Bill Jennings trying to redecorate the place, knock over some chairs. Shake up, boys.
Throw in along the far sideline, and the Bulldogs will get it back.
Little factoid here: the Concord coach started off in varsity soccer here not that long ago, and 2020 he was the Goffstown varsity coach for the girls, and of course that's our next match coming up on Saturday afternoon.
That one should be a lot of fun. Goffstown's always a tough physical opponent.
Speaking of that matchup on
do a
Saturday,
read about that, Corey?
Absolutely. This coming Saturday, the 24th, big day for Bedford soccer as we'll be hosting Goffstown for all 4 teams, the JV teams as well as the varsity teams. And that will be in honor of Charlie's team, so that's a benefit for Charlie Zink. The boys' game will be hosted at 8:30 a.m., followed by, that's the boys' JV game, followed by the girls' JV game at 10:30. The girls' varsity will play at 12:30, and the boys' varsity will play at 2:30. So there will be baskets here, and it's a fundraising event. A bunch of baskets that will be raffled off at the game. You can get tickets, and all the proceeds will benefit Charlie's team, the foundation in honor of Charlie Zink. This first project is significant improvements of Riddlebrook's outdoor lower basketball court. So hopefully we'll be able to get some improvements for Riddlebrook school members.
When you can make some good things happen after such a sad loss like that to the school, the community, it's a nice way to remember a fine young man. But coincidentally, my wife mentioned today, literally, that she was at the back room. I think it was the day after he passed away, and she asked somebody. She had not heard about his death, and she's been going up there since she was a kid, and was told that their flag outside was at half-mast because of that loss.
Got it. So hopefully anybody out there can come down and join us for those 4 games on Saturday. We'll dial it back into this game here as Bedford seems to be putting together a bit more of a threat in the recent couple of minutes of play. We're just about 12 minutes in. No score here, still 0-0. Eve Humphrey tried to play up this right wing near side, but
yeah, it was a good idea by Neve.
Yeah, McKenna Snow was getting a little twisted around there.
And you do have a little bit of discrepancy as far as experience goes. McKenna is wise beyond her years, but Neve is one who's been at this level playing on varsity since she was a freshman. So there is a little bit of a gap. And, of course, this early in the season, you're still trying to figure out who's doing what, who's going to be where. So Neve will take this throw here, gets it in over the head of Lana Morris, and now Concord sends it out, and it's just shy of a corner kick. It'll be a throw from right at the pylon. A name that we did not hit as we were talking through the last sequence, and I don't know, frankly, when she's ever going to touch the ball again, so I want to throw it out there. Hopefully she doesn't. Zoe Santos, 28 clean sheets for the senior keeper in her tenure in net for the Bulldogs. So senior captain, senior keeper, we had a handball just outside the box, so it'll be Concord on a kick over on our right. But Zoe is certainly one worth mentioning. She'll matriculate at the Citadel next year down in Charleston, South Carolina.
Played nicely on that back line by Sari Stein.
Lauren, what year is your daughter, our backup keeper?
She is a junior.
Junior.
In soccer years, she is probably still wearing diapers. She is just getting to learn this game. So
I wonder if does she watch these replays on BCTV?
she'll probably hear about that from somebody, and that's okay. I would say that if she was standing right here. It is, I will say this, as Bedford has a good shot, but Concord winds up stealing the ball, and Bedford knocks it out of bounds. It'll be Concord throw here on the near side. I will say, as far as the program goes, that Will has been helpful as far as nurturing her and helping her grow. This has been a good one. It's been a good experience for her learning the game. So this is not her primary sport.
It's not.
No.
Baseball.
Baseball. That's a story for another day.
I'm just taking a guess.
Yes.
Couple of headers played forward here as the Bulldogs trying to establish a threat here. The play has moved to our right as we look at it on the field. It was centered kind of in the middle of the field to start with, but the Bulldogs are gaining more possession and moving that ball forward more consistently as they do here along that far sideline.
We need to see some shots, though. I don't think that we've seen a shot by either team yet. Definitely not on goal, although there's been a couple times both keepers have picked up the ball, but not shots.
Which is unusual. We're almost 15 minutes into this game and no shots on goal.
They scored 32 prior to this match this season. Heck, they were taking shots sometime.
Well, here feels like a good threat as Snow has it near sideline in the corner. Looks to gain a little bit of space to get it out on the cross, but it'll trickle out of bounds. She takes the throw. Crowder now in the penalty area, cleared by the Concord defenders.
Having watched a lot of these games, I can tell you, too, it is the way that Bedford scores is a mixture. They will score some deep goals from Grace Crowder, and that's certainly not a rare occurrence as she boots it over the end line. But they also do a really good job of flipping the field and getting Lana Morris out in space, which when you look at who the two leaders are, it's two players who are apt to score goals in very different ways.
And I remember those two names at the end of the season as well when I covered them in the semifinals out in Exeter versus Portsmouth.
That was a great game that night.
Michelle Winning's been with us the entire history of girls soccer here since the school opened. 206
wins. We discussed that earlier. Winning and I discussed that earlier today. That's a lot of wins. And the fact that I was not aware of, file that under the today I learned, is that Michelle Winning started her high school coaching career at Concord.
Yes.
I want to bust these windows out. It'd be really way easier to do play-by-play. Or, go hop down and sit down below.
It's much easier to see the play when the lights are off here in the booth. However, you can't see any of your notes. So that presents a couple of different challenges. Nor can you see the rosters and figure out who's who.
Honestly, I don't think this window being watched is going to help. It looks like it's the seal, and that's why it's been like this for 2 years.
That may be very well.
Diaz up the wing now. Cross comes in.
Ooh.
We have a chance, but again cleared out by the defender there, who was Nevaeh Kalipinski.
Morris had a chance. One of the Concord players had just fanned on it, but unfortunately there wasn't enough space to get a shot off.
Far side, played out of bounds. Again, the Bulldogs will have a throw in. Still scoreless here, 0-0, 23 minutes to play in the first half.
Didn't even get to say Bedford going left to right on your radio dial.
No. On your TV for sure as they wear their home blacks, but not your radio dial.
It's possible that people could be standing on their heads watching the game.
Ball deflected out, and Bedford will have another throw. This time Annie Zink will throw it in. Substitution off the bench.
Another one of the freshmen.
Corey, not that you're that old, but some people out there, many of the listeners might be young enough to be wondering, what's a radio dial?
It's funny. The youngsters don't listen to games on the radio, let's face it.
Do they watch them on the radio instead?
No, they watch them on
their
a
phone.
computer. Concord on a break. Concord on a break
Yeah,
here, though,
speedy
Corey.
counterattack, and that's going to be broken up by Neve. Humphrey taps it ahead nicely to Grace Crowder, who has a threat brewing here. Tries to get it ahead to Morris. Played away by the Concord back line. Sari Stein comes up right at midfield. Will distribute out to her left. Kate Michael. Back to the middle to Grace Crowder. Cloutier, nice shield away on 50-50 ball there right at midfield.
It's fun to watch some of these freshmen. You see Diaz in the middle of the field, not an ounce of panic in her.
Very smooth, very calm, very collected.
It's always fun to see midfielders who are very comfortable and really truly let the game come to them.
Good shield there by Crowder to have a through ball. Ball shot on goal now.
Ooh, there we go.
Turned away by goalkeeper Megan Gamache. First shot on goal for either team this evening.
It's one where you hope that you have somebody following when she doesn't pick it up clean so you can capitalize on the misplay. But unfortunately, Bedford was hanging back a bit.
Of course, we mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. There is a little bit of a drizzle, at least there was when we started the game, causing slippery conditions for the goalies. So more to your point, Lauren, you might want to get in there and follow up, as normally sure-handed goalkeepers may not be this evening.
And this is a turf field for those who might be watching the game for the first time from here in Bedford. So the ball does tend to skip quite a bit on wet nights.
As it did there, but nicely played. Into the middle to Crowder. Now Cloutier will come up from her center back position.
Araceli, very aggressive back there, will come up and play on offense a bit, get her fair share, and then scoot right back as well.
That's probably what you mentioned is probably the only drawback to the turf field is the way that the ball can slide skip, which is on shots on goal. Probably the keeper's the worst person to have to deal with that effect. But other than that, it's always nice to have a field like this. You don't get the puddles where a ball will just all of a sudden stop dead.
Right.
Some horrible situations I've seen over my lifetime, I'll tell you.
I saw one yesterday in the junior high game over in Goffstown where the ball was not moving. I think there were frogs coming out of puddles like Caddyshack. But with that, I see no drawbacks to a turf field. And actually, maybe if the Charlie's team foundation raises enough money, we can throw in some turf fields as well, make some other phenomenal improvements. Great to see it getting started. Great to see it helping out and getting more kids in the game in town as well. The word team was not coming to me.
No worries.
Yes.
Glad I could lend a hand there.
I had it in Spanish. I did not have it in English. Equipo.
Oh, here's a threat now, but played off nicely by the Concord defense. The Bulldogs will earn the first corner kick of the evening, as Grace Odell was chasing down that ball, but couldn't corral it. Backline defenders were able to play it out over the end line. Looks like we might have Neve Humphrey on the corner kick on the far side.
I think you may be correct. They got some big feet on that Bedford back line.
Into the penalty area, headed out by the Crimson Tide. And Humphrey will come back, play it back to Stein, who has to come up. A little bit tentative there, as there was a Concord attacker right there. A striker was Rachel Gridley in on the play.
that rather short, I'll call it, corner kick. Very difficult for the offense to do anything with that, since the ball is not going to be able to be caught coming to you, which is the way you really want it. It'd be nice if they had somebody who could put it a little longer. Maybe they do.
Some wheels right there from McKenna Snow, chasing that ball down on the defensive end, was able to nudge that out of bounds. So Nevaeh Kalapinski will throw it in for Concord. Snow here again, clears it out.
Snow doing a nice job back there. She was on the front line earlier in the game. Now she's moved back.
A little more than halfway through the first half.
Nice ball there by Lana as she played it smoothly to her midfield teammate there, Anna Diaz. That was Lana Morris. Helped with the breakout.
Bedford has been creating some nice space out in front of each other to be able to link some of these passes into, instead of like that one there again. That's not bad.
Annie Zink into the middle to Morris. Now Odell to Diaz. Have something brewing on that far left wing.
Whoa.
Chasing it down. But it does trickle out over the end line. It will be a goal kick. Some more substitutions for the Bulldogs.
Keeping everybody fresh. And this is, with the exception of that Exeter game, I feel like we haven't seen them go this long of a scoring drought really at any point. But they're sort of trying to figure out the puzzle that is Concord.
Goal kick now taken by Megan Gamache. Keeper for the Crimson Tide. That'll be settled by the Bulldogs' back line. Played across the field to Snow. Nifty little move to avoid a defender there. Morris serves to Crowder, but needs to retreat. Stein, the steady Eddie, way back there on that back line. She's a fantastic center back. Strong, comfortable, poised. Anytime she has the ball, distributes extremely well.
She's got a cannon for a leg, too.
She sure does. The lefty comes up and takes a lot of corner kicks from a certain side of the field when she has the opportunity. Takes a lot of free kicks as well. Cloutier now, little step over. Back to Morris. Chipped into the middle. Diaz pushed off. Tips back. Shot just wide. Ooh. Grace Crowder there with an opportunity on the little service by Anna Diaz. Saw her right at the top of the box, but her shot just wide to the right.
And that whole sequence, a very pretty sequence. Bedford being very patient with the ball, and Diaz finally just tapping it over to Crowder for the shot. Not long after she had been clobbered by one of the Concord defense women.
Defense women.
Well, that's why when I was doing, that's a handball at about the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 10. That was why I kept saying on defense when I was doing the pregame announcements, because I wasn't going to call them defensemen, because they're not. So there you go.
Fair enough. In that case, that's a freshman just legally getting pressed off the ball, right?
Yes.
Anna Diaz is slight of frame at this point in her career.
She most certainly is. But
as her strength and
small, but she's strong.
As she has shown throughout the season so far. Cloutier now serves wide, back into the middle, across the goal of the mouth, but out of bounds over the end line. It will be a goal kick for Concord.
Great idea. Timing just off by a hair.
It was nice. That service ball right through the middle. She had two of her Bulldog teammates cutting through. Neither could get a foot on it. Another substitution here as Zink will trot off.
Pretty sure that it's Cloutier, whose father played, I think, for West High School years ago. It could have been, pretty sure it was West. And and subsequently play with some of the other guys from Bedford. Doug Blaze, a Southern New Hampshire University, New England College star soccer player in goal.
Service here from that left wing. Played out by that Concord back line again.
Bedford again doing a good job controlling it. They just haven't converted anything yet.
Humphrey will play through the middle up to Cloutier. Far side now. I believe that's Kylie Morris.
Tempo of the game slowed down by the Bedford players.
More deliberate approach here.
Much so.
Keeping a spread field, trying to find space and opportunity. Played nicely there by Whitney Valant.
The high skill level of the Bedford players possibly is one of the reasons why I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Winning didn't ask for them to slow it down. If they can maintain the ball and frustrate Concord doing something different, because what they've been doing hasn't obviously been ending up with the shot opportunities.
Big throw there by Snow. Concord comes away with it. Broken up by Humphrey again. Humphrey has a nice first touch. She's finding her teammates, finding feet in that middle. It looks like she's just punching it away, but it's always going to her teammates' feet. Near side now, Rachel Gridley. Can't catch up to that one.
Had a good opportunity, couldn't control it.
Lauren, do you think that the most of our goals scored this season earlier have been taken from inside the penalty area versus outside?
Truly, it depends on the game. It depends on the opponent. And it depends on who's scoring it as well. I would say it's been a mix. I haven't looked at it on a scatter chart or anything like that, but it feels like it's been pretty evenly distributed.
No scatter chart? You don't have any advanced
I haven't
metrics?
put together the baseball spray chart for Bedford goals yet.
No sabermetrics for the girls' varsity soccer team here at Bedford?
So it's funny you should mention that. I was having a conversation with my 8th grader about this yesterday, but I would venture to guess that if you were looking at the goal as your focal point and then basically ran it out like a cone from the goal, they would be distributed mostly within there. Is that, I mean, you've played and watched far more than I have, but.
Yeah, so, predictability
right.
of what your angles are and where your shots are coming from and where your goalkeepers are normally going to be stationed. So, yeah, absolutely.
It's where the percentages are, and so that's the name of the game. But
it's once in a blue moon that a player will score on a corner kick that bends nicely, but that's an unusual play.
And those are largely indefensible. There's not a whole lot you can do.
Crowder now settles things, plays to Cloutier. She'll go far side.
But getting that next to the last ball out to near the corner along the touchline and then crossed in.
Yes.
I'd like to see more of that, a long ball there instead of the short passing. And when they're about 20 yards out, as they approach the penalty area line, take a shot.
Right. It's where can you find the home run ball, so to speak.
Yeah. Yep.
Great job winning that ball by Lana Morris.
This Concord team looks like it's really trying to pack the back line, and what they're trying to do is get the 1 or 2 runs and really prevent defense, I guess, to really mix a metaphor with football in there. But that's what they're trying to do, and Bedford's got to figure this one out. And you're right, Bill. It may be a deeper goal ultimately that gets the Bulldogs on the board, but they're really stacking the box right now.
The Concord keeper has been staying back right in that goal area, in the goal mouth, not coming out much at all. But that does open up the 2 ends of the goal, if you will, the 2 post areas that could allow a shot there from outside.
Who was that at mid with that nice steal to sort of set that up?
McKenna Snow.
That was McKenna?
The freshman has been playing very strong.
Like
Header
that,
here,
that
dribbles
started off that entire offensive set was her harassing the girl at midfield.
Combination of speed and strength, shoulder to shoulder, was able to nudge the Concord player off the ball and tap it out wide to her teammate. Excellent play by Snow, here again with the ball. Trying to play it deep to Morris. Concord got a foot on it.
Oops.
A little behind Crowder there, but now she receives the pass from Cloutier. They'll play with it at midfield a little bit. Long ball here is going to be wide.
Do you get anything if it goes in that goal?
Half a point?
Maybe. All right.
7 minutes to go here in the first half. We've seen a few decent chances, but really mustering little offense are the Bulldogs. Concord hasn't really had much. They've had 1 or 2 long runs, but haven't gotten into the defensive box for the Bulldogs, as the play has centered here to our right on your TV screen.
Or in the case of Bill Jennings, your smartphone.
He's monitoring the broadcast. The station manager has to make sure he doesn't have any wahoos on the TV camera tonight.
Correct.
Thank you, Andrew Fenn. We appreciate you being here. Far side, played middle. Diaz takes it 1-2 with Cloutier. Nice little touches here. We're trying to build something, but
Araceli called for the ball in the give and go. Good idea, hoping that somebody was going to break up front, but nobody was able to. Concord again, packing everybody defensively.
Snow from Stein.
Concord defense has been
takes her space.
Tough right outside the penalty area, not allowing us to get the short ball in and result in a shot.
Good stutter step here by Snow. Plays it in.
Nice cross.
Dubois heads it back in. Not touched by the Concord defenders, so they will come out with a goal kick.
I mean, that's gutsy when you're playing the back line to be all the way up there, particularly when you're a freshman, and know, okay, I have an opportunity there. Communicate with your teammates, trust them, know that they'll hang back a little bit, but she had a chance and very well could have made something happen there.
Those outside backs are frequently encouraged to get forward there, either on an overlap or simply playing the opportunity, taking space, seeing what the play develops and what is presented for them. But that is a frequent play for an outside back. And then to provide that service, which Snow did in that particular instance, that pattern of play coming to the outsides and then playing it back into the middle of the penalty area usually presents great opportunities for goal scoring.
Araceli sends it just over the head of Lana Morris and picked up by the Concord keeper, who sends it near midfield. Nice slide tackle there by Araceli.
They let play go as there was advantage. Snow shields it out.
Bill, would you have called that?
I would have done exactly what the official did. Play on.
All right.
And if the ball was lost within a few seconds after that, then I would have blown the whistle and brought the ball back with the relatively new rule that they can do that.
To maintain the flow of the game?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
I mean, I like it. As a fan, I like it.
Yeah, that was a great example of a play on call, properly, called by the official.
If you were grading the official, that would be a positive mark in their book.
Absolutely.
All right,
and
there you go.
He signaled with his arms.
Yep.
So we could see what that does as a coach. Oh boy.
Great defensive play
Nice
by
job
Neve
by Neve.
Humphrey.
Oh, yep.
That ball was served into Bedford's penalty area.
I mean, Romo and Jim Nance have Mike Pereira. We have Bill. That's where we are. This is how we know we've hit the big time.
Are you doing Subway commercials yet, or?
No, actually, yeah. I have a deal with California Burrito. That would be a conflict of interest.
Fair enough. Concord throw near sideline. That's Nevaeh Kalapinski.
3 minutes left in the first half with only still just that one shot, actually.
Crowder to Diaz. Streaking down the far sideline. Had a player. Back to Crowder, though. Good stick there in the middle of the field. That was Whitney Valent.
Never nervous Neve right there in the middle, bringing it back.
Off of Crowder's foot, yeah. Stein shields that ball away. Snow calmly back to Humphrey. And Humphrey will take her space. Cloutier looking for a long ball, plays the diagonal.
I like that.
Nice touch there by Diaz, but not quite the right direction to get Morris an opportunity. 2 minutes to go here in the first half, still scoreless. The clock will stop, and they will keep it down on the field. Bill, you and I talked about that strategy last time as they take some of that variability and discretion is left to the referees on the field. Good opportunity here for the Bulldogs. Can't capitalize right away. They look back for a Cloutier. Cloutier will take the bomb, but that does get deflected by Concord. And good effort there to prevent the corner by the back line. I believe that was Kalipinski deflecting it out into touch. That's good.
Yes,
good soccer terminology right there.
I almost dropped that earlier, but
well, you owe me $5 now, Fox.
Yep, you used it within the game.
So Bedford with a throw.
There's no question that is into touch. Still don't know even what that means.
Episode 1.
Yep.
The goal kick now here for Concord. Sorry, Bill, go ahead.
No, I was just going to quick mention that timekeeping on the field by the refs is good unless the referee fails to restart his watch or something after a stoppage during this 2-minute period. And that unfortunately occurred last year in one of the playoff games.
I was going to say I thought the ruling was in direct response to something that happened during a playoff game, Division II game.
Snow back to her right foot.
Yes. Oh.
Deflected here. Bedford trying to catch up with it. Off the pipe here.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, scramble. Right here at the end of the half. The Bulldogs will have a corner kick.
I'm trying to figure out, I think it was Lana in the box who had a shot at it and literally got tackled.
I believe that was the case.
Andrew Fenn can go back and share the video with us, but
Dale Bird giving us replays here tonight.
That's the end of the half.
She got creamed.
Wow.
And yeah.
Kind of surprised they didn't let him kick that corner kick, Bill. Right?
This is not FIFA, not USA Soccer.
Don't they have the ability to let them with an opportunity here?
No, that's a huge difference between the sets of rules, the way the game's officiated, where the refs probably would have allowed that in a youth soccer match or FIFA World Cup kind of style.
With that, we close the first half. Scoreless here at Bedford High School as the Bulldogs are hosting the Concord Crimson Tide. We will take a short break. 9 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock here at halftime, and we will join you for second half action. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll be right back. And we're back here at Bedford High School in Bedford, New Hampshire for second half action of the girls' varsity soccer team as they take on the Concord Crimson Tide. We're scoreless here at halftime. Few opportunities, particularly for the Bulldogs in the first half, especially that flurry right at the end of the half where a ball went off the left goalpost. However, we do still remain scoreless.
Anybody watching the game at home has the advantage of being able to do their own little replay at the end, right at the end of the half. There looked like there could have been an opportunity for a penalty kick, which would have benefited Concord for the second time today, knowing the fact that Bedford beat the Concord boys up in Concord on a penalty kick. Maybe you're only allowed one per school per day or something, regardless of program.
They have a 1 PK quota here.
I don't know.
2 corners in a row here for the Concord Crimson Tide to start off the half. This is the most significant threat they've had.
Nice ball.
Sailed in wide very nicely.
Nice defending.
Defense is able to corral that. Beautiful ball here to a run on the far right wing.
That's the kind of corner kick that personally I like to see. A little further out from the goal and beyond the far post.
Cross here is cleared by Whitney Valent for the Crimson Tide, but Bulldogs will have a throw. Diaz serves it into the penalty area, but nobody there. So Megan Gamache will wait for her team to pull up. Our broadcast partner, Lauren Fox, needed to take off for a little while for some family duties. So I'm Corey Munster-Tiger in the booth here with Bill Klein.
What's turned out to be not a horribly rainy evening. And the rain, based on the fact that I don't see any more umbrellas up, has decided to give up.
Cool but pleasant. Crowder here. Can't quite get a touch on that as Cloutier served the ball into the box. Gamache came off her line. Grabbed that before any trouble happened. Stein will gather this. Plays wide, but too wide.
It's one of the few times that they've not connected on a pass like that. They've got some spots where they expect one of their teammates to be.
Kylie Morris with the throw now. Snow in a physical battle there, wins the ball.
Both players upright, shoulder to shoulder, basically contact, and officials not making a call is the right thing to have done.
It still is a contact sport, right, Bill? That kind of physical play is legal as long as it's shoulder to shoulder?
Absolutely. Pet peeves of a lot of coaches is, and parents and everybody basically is let them play. Don't call it too tight. When girls soccer began to get popular up here, the lack of experience of spectators was probably one of the most difficult things, because every time a player got bumped, somebody wanted the whistle to blow.
We see similar experiences with other sports, boys and girls lacrosse namely. Some of the fan bases are certainly enthusiastic, but sometimes a bit uneducated on the actual rules of the sport. Soccer being more widely played. Nice ball here in the middle here. Grace Crowder. Can't get it to go.
Just hit a little high over the crossbar, but a nice touch on that ball. Boy, they just need a few more of those, and I can see the game ending 3-0 or something.
That was a nice touch. Gathered it in, first touch left foot, and gave herself an opportunity with her strong right foot.
Break the ice, somebody, for either Bedford or the team in dark colors. Not playing homers here.
Humphrey played it out, but won by the Crimson Tide. Good ball along that far sideline to Rachel Gridley, but it does trickle out of bounds. It was deemed touched by the Bulldogs, so the Crimson Tide throw it in. As Avery Fitcher gets a ball into the middle. Cleared out, though, by Stein. Played in. Falls to the feet of the Crimson Tide.
Not sure whether the damp field might be a little slippery depending upon the type of shoes that young lady's wearing for the Tide. It looked like she slipped. Nice.
Cleared off the back line by Stein. Snow into the middle. Plays it to her own feet. Strength and balance keeps her on the ball, but her touch goes a little heavy out of bounds on the far side.
And speaking of the knowledge of the rules on officiating, I talked to the NHIAA, New Hampshire Interscholastic Athletic Association, asked them a question about the need for officials. And I said, which sport? And they said every sport needs it.
Every single one of them, right?
Every
Crowder here with a shot.
Oh,
Save by Gamache. But the Bulldogs earn a corner kick. Two good opportunities here in the start of the first half by Grace Crowder. Similar plays. One touch to herself, out to her right foot, getting a shot off. The first was high and wide. The second here, saved by Megan Gamache.
Concord keeper in great position to stop that ball.
Humphrey's corner goes off the upright for the football field. So the Crimson Tide will have a goal kick. Just over 7 minutes in to the second half, still scoreless, 0-0. Gamache's goal kick comes out near side. Played by Lillian Bolton. Back to Whitney Valent. Disrupted by the Bulldogs, and now they play from the back. Diaz, a couple quick touches, plays it out wide.
Nice. Ooh.
Grace
Offside.
Crowder was offside there. Just a touch. Even is on, but she was not even, so the whistle blows.
One of the nice things about officiating soccer is the fact that you get paid to exercise. You run a little bit, but with the two-man system, it's not highly demanding. And soccer is definitely one of the sports that is really in need of more officials.
If there were more officials, would they go to a three-man system?
Absolutely. If they could, they would. It's far superior. You got the one referee, one whistle to actually call the foul, so it's all over the field. You've got a little more consistency.
And for playoff games, would they go to three-man? Or do they maintain the two?
They have, I know the girls' game last year at the end of the season was one of the few games I actually did watch, and that was the three-man system or diagonal system of control. For
Bedford stringing together a counterattack here, pushing numbers forward. Cross into the box. That is bobbled by the goalie Gamache, but she was able to recover quickly.
And unfortunately, no one close enough to make up for that, but not anything wrong. It's just the way the shot came quickly.
We're referring to two-man versus three-man, so you can see the configuration of the orange jerseys as the officials are diagonally across from each other, trying to play watch for both fouls as well as offside. In three-man, it's a little bit easier as you have the center official that concentrates mostly on game play, whereas the linesman will concentrate mainly on that offside positioning, but they are able to call those fouls from the sidelines as well.
Yes, and of course out of bounds as well. They're static outside the field, so they're supposed to be right there, Johnny on the spot, which is, and obviously for the goal line is the most critical one.
Bulldog free kick taken by Humphrey, gets it into the box, cleared out by the Crimson Tide.
And instead of having the 40 or 50 yards in between the two officials, when you've got the center official and the linesman, you cut that almost in half. Not quite, but you've got two officials boxing into play.
Stein comes up, makes a play in midfield. Gets it to Diaz now. Diaz touches it wide. Plays it to herself, actually. Keeps possession for the Bulldogs. Plays it into the middle. Deflected out by Concord, and now the Crimson Tide will earn a throw in on the far sideline.
And a substitute for Concord.
That's Olivia Crawford going out. I believe that was that a 15? I believe that might be Anna Mackey or McKee, possibly from the JV roster. I don't see a 15 on their varsity roster at this point in time. Concord again with a throw on the far sideline. 28 minutes to go here in the game. Still knotted at 0. Few opportunities, but neither team has broken through.
I don't think either side here tonight would consider a tie a positive thing. They just don't want to have a late game single goal scored that makes the decision.
Well, it depends on which side you're on. Sometimes you really like those late game goal scores. Crowder here now. Carries. Tries to scoot it through. Snow can't quite get onto it. Nicely shielded by Willa Marino, and Megan Gamache coming off her line to scoop that up.
Well, although she stays back, pretty far back during play, but she's quick to sprint out and make a save like that. I'll call that a save.
Diaz now off the throw in. Punches it ahead. Bulldogs look to counter. Good step there. Whitney Valent. Humphrey, nice footwork there to keep it in and gain possession. This is Kylie Morris now running onto a ball from Crowder.
She's got no one up ahead on the right where she was headed for. And
Snow looks that direction. Her pass is broken up.
somewhat missed kick there.
Diaz chasing it down in the far corner. Scrapping along the way there. Earns a throw in.
I think looks like substitutes have reported. Yep, there we go.
Crowder will go out.
Just beckoned on now.
Forrester goes out.
Yeah, it's so frustrating for me, Corey, not being able to see those numbers, the dark numbers on a dark jersey.
It is rather challenging, as those red numbers on black jerseys are tough to distinguish here from our perch here in the media box.
I don't think my eyesight's all that bad, but I certainly have a difficult time seeing that.
And Lauren's back.
All the chickens safe in the chicken coop back there at home?
No, they're back here now.
Oh, they're all, you brought them all here.
Yeah, so everybody's here. Giving you a quick traffic report on 101. It's a little bit wet,
Okay.
and there's coffee. It's courtesy
There
of
is
Kim
coffee.
Dubois.
Ball here by Diaz. Deflected, headed by Dubois, but just wide left. Just under 25 to play here in the second half. Still scoreless. Both teams still looking for that icebreaker.
Lauren, you did miss a shot that was taken to our left on the Concord keeper. Don't remember who it was that took it now, but Corey probably does.
Grace Crowder.
Grace
Yep.
Crowder, there you go. His
She
eyesight's better than mine, as is his memory.
Crowder is usually the guilty
He's
party.
about half my age, I think.
Wouldn't go that far.
Oh, geez,
Not
I don't
quite.
think you're 90.
I was going to say, quick math.
No, actually, I thought you were even older than that. You're only 45? Wow. I like gray hair.
Yeah, I'm a
Wow.
little deceptive here.
I installed a security camera today, and part of it testing it, as I was setting it up, I saw the big bald spot on the back of my head. That has.
You didn't ask for a refund on the camera.
Hey, something wrong with the camera
I
here.
would have, yeah.
Look at it.
There's
There's not enough hair on my head. It must be
working.
something wrong with this camera.
We got a corner coming here.
Bulldogs have the corner, far side. Looks like Sari Stein will come in.
It'll be Sari.
Left-footed in-swinger. Good service to the back post.
In there, and
Bulldogs on the doorstep there. Lana Morris can't quite get a shot off. It was at her feet.
looked like Lana was going to be able to, but not quite.
Even if she had been able to pick it up clean there, I'm not quite sure what she could have done with it.
There was a wall of defenders in
Tough
her
angle.
way there,
Yes,
yeah.
there was.
Concord defender jumping the route there.
Your sports analogies are all over the place.
I really
love
am.
it. Humphrey plays it back. Odell now middle to Cloutier. Tries to get to her right foot. Harassed there by the Concord Crimson Tide. Nice job there, making it difficult. Now they open up some space. Odell, middle for Snow. Snow
Some nice consecutive touches and a shot.
takes a shot, and it's good.
Goal! We got one.
A bomb by McKenna Snow. As you said, she took a couple of touches, got to her strong right foot, and unleashed a bomb from just outside the goal area. Must have been about 2 or 3 yards beyond the 18. And just the perfect arc to get over Megan Gamache, and the Bulldogs take a 1-0 lead.
Just like I said last week, Corey, and you helped put in the correct player's name, NHL great Gretzky. If you don't shoot, you can't score. or you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yes.
That one. But that's exactly the kind of shot that I would have been pushing my team to take the way this game has been going. Don't try to walk the ball in.
Sure, get some time and space.
The corner kick, the way that those defenders were crowded around that post, you know, like you said, very, very difficult to score.
So McKenna Snow gets the Bulldogs on the board here.
And this team usually scores goals in bunches, I will say that.
And that's what I was just about to mention, is that could be that icebreaker goal as Ava Dubois corrals it near side, scoots it ahead, can't connect with Snow.
Good idea. Just went right off her stick.
Nice, nice.
Michael's going to get called for the chicken wing here as she was trying to gain body position. She wrapped around a little bit. The official saw her left wing come out.
Nice call, Corey.
Whitney Valent will take the free kick for the Crimson Tide. Just about halfway through the second half here, 20 minutes remaining in the game. Dubois, patience, plays back to Stein. Stein to Cloutier. Back to Stein. That poise along the back line, as you mentioned earlier, Bill, is very impressive. Stein plays a long ball, looking for that left wing run. And she's going to be called for offside as Lana Morris was in just behind the defenders.
And the official was right on that line, moving with that next to the last defender, in position to make the call, which from up here, I couldn't tell.
No, I couldn't tell. I did think that she was clear when the ball was struck, but you know, once the ball was struck, obviously she snuck back there. But
such an important distinction too is that when the ball is struck, right? What is the position when the ball is kicked? Frequently, observers, fans, parents, in particular, don't understand that nuance.
They have no
to
concept.
the game.
Nice little shove there.
It's all right.
Was that
Try to get
Kylie?
away. That is Kylie
That
Morris.
was Kylie.
Two-hand shove in
Yeah.
the back. That one's going to get called each time.
When you have a defender moving up and the attacker is sprinting down the field, sometimes it looks like it was offsides, but the timing of that, if the official's in the right spot, I trust them.
Right. The difficulty can be, too, when you have a player who may be faster than an official.
And we have those.
Long ball here.
Uh-oh. Dangerous. Nope. So
Zoe Santos true to the test.
Can of corn.
Relatively easy play for Zoe.
looked like it was higher.
First
down.
shot really on goal for Concord.
It was. Absolutely correct.
Santos now. Long ball here.
Wow, nice.
Played center to Snow.
Significant difference also on the balls released by the keeper back into play for us versus Concord.
Snow getting body checked down there too.
Honestly, she was creating space for herself and doing an excellent job.
I will say this as somebody who has been known to gripe with officials. That was a good no call on both sides.
Yes.
Because the contact was being initiated by both of them.
And honestly, it was outstanding strength by Snow to stay on the ball.
Right.
Not to get pushed off, but also create her own space to create a play from there. Diaz now.
The comparison of the keepers real quick, what I was pointing out was what just happened again, is that we are picking up, or we, as in Bedford's picking up probably 9 out of 10 balls that are put into play by the keeper versus the exact opposite by the Concord players from their keeper.
Ball here by Kate Michael. Diaz tried to run onto it, but again, Gamache comes off her line.
And that's an underrated feature, Bill, of an experienced keeper, is somebody who can actually get it to where their players are going to get it, and they have the opportunity to get the ball back. Otherwise, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good. You don't really get it out of the offensive end.
Yeah, the one thing, I don't know, Lauren, if you've seen it this season with the girls team, but I have not seen in this game the keeper throw the ball out a single time.
Zoe is more comfortable with her feet. I will say that the backup goalie is more comfortable throwing the ball.
Oh, baseball player.
Yeah, but
good arm.
no.
And uses the baseball technique,
yes,
too.
getting back to Zoe. Zoe is very snazzy with her feet and very comfortable doing so.
Threat here by the Concord Crimson Tide.
Failed to clear on that one. That poses a danger here.
Valent.
Yeah. Nice.
And Santos off her line. Catches that ball right at the 6-yard box.
That ball was kind of all over the place. It was trickling around. It was almost like it had turned from a sphere to an oblong. He was having a hard time with it.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Cloutier here.
Off the head so the keeper can pick it up.
Santos clears out her D. Gets team to push forward. Sets it down, and now she'll kick it off the ground. Good step there by Concord. Volleyed back, but Stein comes down.
We've got numbers back there. It was 4-on-2. Making it difficult for Concord to set something up, although they've looked a little bit better. They're playing a little stronger, a little desperate or something.
That's what I'm imagining, is that desperation kicks in, right? You're happy with a 0-0, if not maybe a quick strike against the Bulldogs, but now they are down 1. They're going to look for that equalizer any way they can. Push players forward, make substitutions, look for speed and counterattack to get that knotted again at 1. It is 1-0, the Bulldogs lead on a beautiful shot by McKenna Snow. Down that right wing, kept in play. Grace Crowder now gets stuffed by the Concord defense.
Oh!
Excellent play there. I believe that was Whitney Valent. It was right there and sticks the shot by Crowder. Didn't get it on net.
And that was Lana Morris leading the charge up the right side.
Morris here again. Some miscommunication with the Bulldogs there, but Diaz comes over, wins it back. Good hustle there by Diaz.
Good day for the Diaz family here. Goal up in Concord by her brother, and she's looked really tough out here.
Kylie Morris now, near side.
They are most certainly a soccer family, the Diazes.
The father doesn't have anything to do with anything, does he?
Yeah. I was, okay.
I know.
Played D1 college soccer and is one of the assistants on the men's side, for those who might not know, or the boys' side.
Deflected off the Bulldogs here. The Crimson Tide will have a throw near sideline. 14 minutes to go here in the game. The Bulldogs hold a 1-0 lead.
Where did Mr. Diaz go to school? It's D1 school.
Northeastern and then SNU.
Ah.
But I don't know if it was SNU then or before it was SNU.
Yep.
I have no sense of timeline with any of that.
Part of my wife's family is New Hampshire college grads, and my wife is the only one, I believe. Actually, there's more than one on her side of the family. She's a SNU grad.
There you go.
Completing her degree later in life.
Push called here during the scrum. Call goes for the Bulldogs. Stein will come up and take this free kick.
And this is a good opportunity for Bedford, too, with Sari's foot, as it is, to really create something.
I mean, that's a bomb, though.
No, I know. She's not going to create a goal out of
40
that.
yards away.
She's not going to create a goal, but she can make something happen out of a set play.
Nice ball.
Nearly reaches
Oh, look at this.
the penalty box on the fly, but that bounce trickled in, and you're absolutely right, Bill. There was something brewing there, but played out nicely by the Crimson Tide defense.
From my angle, I did not see that defender. I saw two of our players set up pretty nicely for a shot and a potential if it was a rebound.
Must have been the foggy window.
Oh, boy, more than that. It's a foggy brain. My wife would agree if she was watching, but I know she isn't, so.
Nice ball. Will she be able to get there? The answer, no, and it'll be a Bedford throw from deep on the near side.
Good thought there by Olivia Crawford, though, as she was looking for that play down the right wing.
For Bedford up 1-0 with about 12 minutes left, really what you're looking for is a little bit of insurance so you can kind of take a deep breath and kick your feet up.
Insurance and possession play.
Nice.
Annie Zink here, near side. Looks to get in, but Gamache again comes off her line.
Gamache doing a good job back there.
She sure is. Has come off in the right situations, stayed back in the right situations, cleared the ball out well. She's found her defenders and midfielders on her punts out to the midfield.
Bedford couldn't clear that one, and sounded like it went off a Concord shin. It'll be a, thought it would be a Bedford throw, but apparently they're saying Concord going the other way.
I think he may give a drop ball. It went off the official.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I believe. Yes, and
It's an interesting rule change here too, right? As the official used to be part of the play and they would play on when it was deflected. Now they stop the play and
correct. He's dropping it to the team that had the possession. Had it gone out, it would have been a Concord throw-in.
Okay.
And that this may be the first season for that. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is.
Oof.
Bedford's D getting tested now. Lefty in on Santos. One hopper is easily scooped up. Pounces on it. She'll take her time coming off and punts it out to midfield.
A little bit of good velo on that one from Viant, but right at the keeper, Santos. And again, Zoe gets another one trickling to her with a little bit of time. And now she's playing cat and mouse with the Concord offensive player, and we'll just pick the ball up.
1 goal lead, might as well bleed a little bit of time off the clock. 10 minutes to go here. Santos sets it down for her right foot. Ball played out towards Diaz. Can't get the best touch on it.
This Concord team's been pretty solid in the midfield. I will say that.
And they have pushed, it looks like, another forward, as they might be playing 3 across the top now. Again, trying to find that equalizer. Santos will have a goal kick here, though. 9.5 to play. Bulldogs holding a 1-0 lead over the visiting Crimson Tide from Concord. Santos's goal kick, powerful.
That's a great weapon too.
Right out
Talked
to
about Sari Stein's foot, but Zoe's makes a big difference there. And Concord kicks the ball out of bounds. And if we were saying football, that bounce went Bedford's way.
It is nice to have that powerful leg back there. Frees up your back line to be able to build out of the back if you want, or play the long ball. And Zoe was able to get that out to the 50-yard line, the half-field mark. Morris's pass gets intercepted. Diaz now recovers. Finds Kylie Morris.
Like she's got the ball on remote control.
Good run there on the far side by Neve Humphrey. She'll look to serve. Crowder can't get it, and the volley here goes wide. I believe that's Grace Odell.
Great opportunity. Great opportunity. Tough one.
I believe you are correct. Great opportunity right in front, and just pulled it a little left of the net.
She'll be seeing that opportunity in her dreams tonight.
That was Lana Morris, 5, not 4.
Was it? Okay.
As Crowder had an opportunity, it glanced out towards Morris, and Lana was not able to get solid contact and put it on net.
Nice.
She heads it over to Snow now. Snow, again, gets to her right foot, shanks that ball, and it will go for a goal kick.
There was a little chicken wing coming out from that Concord defender as well, talking about that one, the arm just coming up ever so slightly.
Yes. Yep.
It's one of Lauren Fox's patented moves, like Akeem Olajuwon down on the low post. You would get that chicken wing going.
No, that's
incredibly
me
effective.
setting screens, Corey.
Akeem Olajuwon. How many sports have we covered here tonight, guys?
All of them. All of them.
Annie Zink plays it to
Nice
the middle.
job by Annie keeping it in.
Snow, Diaz, freshman to freshman to freshman. The ball goes across the goal mouth there, and I'm not sure that was touched by the goalie. I believe the official is pointing towards the goal box for a goal kick.
If she didn't touch it, she did an awfully good job of coming very close to touching it and not doing so, and her proprioception is admirable. But
You're not allowed to use those kinds of words.
The way that she got up, it looked like she had touched the ball, but that said,
do you think she had a guilty look on her face?
I can't see her face. It's just kind of one of the, you can, it's like if you're calling a hit or an error, you can tell if a guy thinks he should have had it.
Counterattack here by the Crimson Tide. They're stringing a few passes together, pinballing around.
Oh boy.
Shoulder to shoulder there.
Yeah, but wasn't playing the ball. Could have been a foul.
On Concord, you say?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Willa Marino takes the throw.
It's got to be shoulder to shoulder in the act of playing the ball. Looked like she either obstructed or took her off. A little grab and a push.
Physicality has stepped up a notch
Physicality
here.
is certainly, it's
definitely, there we go.
And there is a call there. It's physicality that's almost born of desperation. You're just trying to do whatever you can to keep the ball in that offensive end.
And that's effort right there. That's hustle and that's effort. Those players care about this game. It's admirable to see as the last 5 minutes are approaching, and Concord is feeling that desperation. Long ball here by Stein. Great hustle by Snow to block that.
Diagonal. Good spin.
Crowder.
She's
off.
She was off. She was off.
Lana Morris was offside by 1 or 2 yards.
You can probably see that if you watch a replay at home. Having the lines from the football field makes it a little easier sometimes to make that call or see it, even if you're not in the position to make it, which very few people are.
Bedford's still in an offensive mindset as well. Right now, they're trying to get one, definitely not in a prevent D.
Humphrey here making a run, far wing.
Oh, nice
served
touch.
out near side. Annie Zink can't get good contact, and we'll go for a goal kick.
Great ball to Annie. Couldn't quite finish it, but a great opportunity for the Bulldogs there.
We're at 5 minutes. Clock is now official on the field.
Substitution as well. Annie Zink will go off. Mackenzie Forrester will come on near side. Long ball here on the goal kick. Deflected. Right to Kylie Morris. Now to Snow. Snow gets it wide. Humphrey again making a run from that right back position, and her forward pass will trickle out of bounds. Goal kick again for the Crimson Tide. 1-0 still here as the Bulldogs cling to this slim lead. And the Crimson Tide have been mounting a few counter strikes and a few decent opportunities. No real great scoring chances, I would say, as the few shots that have been in on Zoe Santos have been easily handled. But they have certainly made an effort to get forward in their offensive stance. Humphrey again on that overlap. Can't catch up with that heavy pass.
Good idea. Yep. To your point, just a little bit heavy.
Played forward here now to Whitney Valent. Long ball along that left wing.
Concord player should be able to get there.
And does. Serves it back into the middle. Stein can't quite come up with it, but it is touched out of bounds by the Crimson Tide. It will be a goal kick. Again, another opportunity there. I was mounting, but Rachel Gridley on that last little touch, just a little too strong.
Excellent defensive teamwork by the Bulldogs on that one, too, where Sari Stein knew that she could hang middle. She had a teammate forcing the play outside.
Santos can't quite get that goal kick up in the air. Shot here now, again handled by Santos. Zoe trots to the top of the box. And will punt out towards midfield.
One of the few times that Concord did possess that.
Nydia Lane
that punt.
trying to get that ball served into the middle. Stein, though, comes from her center back position. Struck solidly out of bounds. And will do so again. This time deflected off of Concord, and it squirts through. Morris serves Crowder. Run off here by the Concord defenders. Nicely coming back is Nydia Lane. Her ball played to the middle and played out by Cloutier.
Did you see a handball there?
You know, again,
some of the spectators certainly did. They were a lot closer than we were. Yeah,
I believe it hit her hand, but it wasn't necessarily a play that was providing any advantage. It was more of a defensive hand position. So again, it was that kind of subjectivity for the official. And I'm not sure the official could have seen it from either of their vantage points. I think we had the best angle.
I was going to say that the handball to me is always a strange call, because you say something like that, you're not doing it to an advantage, but so often you see it called where a player is jumping up and it happens to hit their hand that they had no control over and the handball is called. So it is a very subjective call, typically.
One of the most difficult and one of the most controversial, especially when it's done in the penalty area.
By Diego Maradona.
Do you speak of the hand of God?
That is a real soccer reference.
There you
folks.
go.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Nicely done, Lauren.
Yep, one.
This kid is versatile. Shot here.
Oh,
Skipper in. Nicely played by Santos.
Yeah, if you're Zoe there, you got to use the full body and sell out on that thing, because this isn't a beauty contest. Make the play, keep the ball out of the net.
She's not rushing getting the ball into play here, which is fine.
And honestly, that was a screamer of a shot.
That
came in with some
certainly
velocity. Skipped, as we talked about, that wet condition. Stein here chases down the loose ball.
Watching
Crimson Tide
here.
continue to put on some pressure. As the desperation mounts, we have to be in the very waning moments here of this game. Throw, near side. And there it is. The very waning moments are accurate as the three whistles toot. And Bedford comes away with a 1-0 lead, a 1-0 victory against the visiting Concord Crimson Tide. Thoughts on the game, gentlemen? Bill?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm sure they're very, very happy to get out of here with the with the win. It's a W. Probably disappointed that they didn't score more. It's the kind of goals they've been scoring all season. And Lauren, you've seen more than I. They've got a tough game coming up against Goffstown this weekend. And your insight, Lauren.
Basically for Bedford, it was a game where they sort of struggled to get things going on offense a bit. All it took was one. They played good defense. Concord was really, we talked about it during the game, defensive mindset, trying to keep the ball out of Bedford's offensive end. And by and large, they did a pretty good job of that. A lot of the game was played directly in front of us, which is not to Bedford's advantage. But all it took was one. Ball got loose, and McKenna Snow powered it in from, what did we say, 25 yards away. That gave Bedford its 1-0 win. But at the end of the year, it doesn't matter if you won this one 1-0 or 11-0. All that matters is that you won the game, and that'll help for seeding come into the season.
So the second half goal by McKenna Snow puts Bedford ahead 1-0. That's the way it remains for the duration. The Bulldogs come away with victory. Just a quick reminder for everybody out there, Charlie's team event will be happening this Saturday, September 24th. Games throughout the day. JV boys and girls will play at 8:30, then 10:30. The varsity for girls will play at 12:30. The varsity boys will play at 2:30. Come on down. They're raising money for Charlie's team, the foundation in honor of Charlie Zink. For Bill Klein,
I will also tell you that some of those raffle baskets that we're talking about for this, there are some Bedford-only baskets. There are some very good lottery ticket baskets, so it's well worth coming down and making a donation, buying some tickets, because there are a lot of great local businesses that have supported this event and would love the community support for this first event for Charlie's team.
Hope to see you down here on Saturday. For Bill Klein, Lauren Fox, the entire BCTV crew, Andrew Fenn on camera, Bill Jennings as always. He's just hanging tonight.
He does a
We
good job of
appreciate
that.
you putting this together. Have a great evening, everybody. We'll join you next time.